What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another day of trading. Another day, another delta. Today is Monday, February 26th, 12:22, 12:23, something like that here in the afternoon on the Pacific West Coast. So, over the weekend, or I guess we should say this morning, we got a really decent up move in RIVN, which might actually save us, guys, because as you remember, I've been rolling this thing for a couple days. RIVN basically screwed me over. Like I mentioned, these EV stocks just totally swing me around. So let's hop in there and see what adjustments we should be doing. So, first things first, there are some earnings today and tomorrow morning before the bell. Not 100% sure I'm going to place those trades, but we can take a look and see if it makes sense. But first, basically, what I wanted to do, let's just go down the list. So FXI, this has been open for almost a week now. Nothing really to see here. We're still pretty centered. I'm about the, let's see here, we can hop in. Still pretty centered. I mean, possibly I could roll up this 21 level put. But if you look, if we come in here, you can see I'm at the 12 delta, so I'd maybe roll it up to the 16 or 21 delta. I could do that, but I think I want to sit tight in this one, guys, just because it has been only, I think, 6 days now. So I want to give myself enough room for the volatility in this ETF. Now, GDX, again, this one's been a little, maybe what, like a week and a half we've had this thing open. Still pretty centered. This might be a textbook strangle, but I don't want to jinx it, so let's just let this one sit. Nothing to do here, guys. Intel slowly creeping up to my break even. This is not exactly what I want to see because I have 18 days left to go. So I could try just holding this, keeping this thing alive by rolling it, or I can hold it and roll it when we get closer to expiration. We're not too far in the money where I need to worry about early assignment necessarily, because this extrinsic value is still around 37, 38. Basically, let's call it mid price, 38 cents. Okay. So if this was a little bit closer to, let's say, 5 pennies, I would be a little bit concerned about early assignment. So I'm not concerned about early assignment right now. So I might let this thing sit for another week at most, and then either roll out this iron condor and widen the strikes a little bit, or just turn this thing into an old-fashioned strangle or straddle that is undefined. So I am leaning more towards that because we're already at a $3 wide spread on each side. So for an account that's roughly, $2,400, I'm not too keen on that. I'd rather just go naked. So if we did want to go naked, however, if we bought this back, the buying power effect is close to $800, and right now we only have about $900 in buying power. So that's not ideal, really, guys. We don't want to push the envelope here. So one thing we can do is to free up some more buying power is take off this IWM. I want to keep it on because we're only 5 cents away from my 50-cent max profit. You see here we're almost at 42% max profit. I've had this thing on for just about a month, 31 days, right? So I could leave this on and try to squeeze out a few more pennies. However, we are past, the 21-day mark where we'd like to actually roll the position. So I might close this, guys, free up. So you'll see here, I'll free up an extra 160. What is this going to be, like 160? Okay, 164, 165 in buying power. So I'm thinking about doing it that way, and then I can free up capital for some other earnings trades. So let's do this. Let's just do it. Worst case scenario, okay, filled at 35 cents. Guys, maybe I should have tried to buy it back for 34 cents. Either way, let's keep moving on. IWM still has a really nice IV percentile and a pretty good IVR for a for an ETF, for an index. So let's see. let's see, we might just want to redeploy it in the further dated cycle. I like that. So let's continue with RIVN. So RIVN, I'll come back to that in a sec, so we might want to make an adjustment. Here we're looking at SPY. So if we look at the deltas, the ETF deltas, so I'm definitely skewed to the downside. So I have call skew here. So basically, if we go in here, you'll see we're close to the top. I'm definitely more short than I am long. I'm kind of okay with this, guys, because let's see. Oh, there's a problem with the charts today. For whatever reason, I have a problem with the charts. But let's see. Guys, we're pretty much at all-time highs, right? So I'm a little bearish, but you never know. So I still want to just give myself enough room on the downside. So I'm not going to do anything just yet. If I were to do anything, I would possibly roll this put spread up a few strikes. Oh wow, that would have to be a lot of strikes. Look to the 480 maybe. So if we wanted to roll up to the 480, I'm not too sure, guys. I think I'm gonna let this one sit. Let's let it sit for another couple days. So if I did roll this thing up to the 480, what would we even collect? So we want to stay $2 wide. We'd collect an extra 7 cents in credit. For me right now, guys, that's not worth it at all. So let's move on to the next. Let's clear out of that. And TLT, guys, this has been on for quite some time, guys. We got 18 days left to go. We've been on this in this position for 31 days. So right now my total, wow, look at that, guys. My total P&L is $3 loss. So what I'm most likely, let's just call it, what I'm going to do, I'm going to just close this off, mark it as like a tiny loser. Might as well be a scratch. I mean, $3 less a bunch of these commissions, so I don't know, $10 maybe, if you're factoring in commissions. So for me, whatever, this isn't doing what we want it to do. I'm gonna just close this thing. I'll take the scratch. Let's close it 104. Let's see if we can squeeze it for 103. Nope. So let's go 104 to the mid. Not filled yet. But basically what we can do, so TLT, guys, the IV rank is also very low, 11.2. The IV percentile, it's low, guys. It's low. So I don't really want to do much with this thing. I'd rather just close it and move on. So we can try legging out, which I don't always like doing. So let's see. Even if I can close this thing for a 5-cent loser, I'm fine with it. Let's see, and turn up the volume so I can hear when I get filled. So let's see, 105 isn't hitting. I could try, let's just see, let's leg out of this thing, but I don't always like doing that. So that's 18 cents, 87. Just basically, I just want to get filled in the mid. But do I really want to pinch pennies over this? Probably not, guys. What I'm going to do now, because I'm only going to be freeing back up an extra, was like 90 something, so $95. So I'll push this to the 106 and let's see if we can get filled there. If not, I'm going to let it sit. So I'm going to let it sit for now, and we'll talk about some other things we can do. So RIVN, this right here, guys, if you remember, we had a huge down move. It was over 30 something percent. I think it was down like 40 something percent here. So let's do the, what is it here? Where is info? All right, guys, I'm totally, give me 1 sec, guys. All right, guys, sorry about that. I am back. I could not for the life of me find where the tool is that I used to use to figure out the down move percentage. So either way, We are down from, let's see, it was like 15 and a half, let's call it. Now we're all the way back to 10 and a half. So basically I had to roll this thing down and out in time. So I basically had the 20 and a half, 12 strangle. So 20 and a half call, 12 put. Then I rolled, basically I closed the call for, I think it was $1 debit, and rolled down the put to 11 and a half. So right now I'm just sitting on a naked put. Now, what do I want to do? Because right now I'm down $82. I want to keep this thing alive. IV rank of 42, IV percentile still 61. So I want to keep this thing alive. Traditional tasty mechanics, which I follow, not exactly to the T, but pretty closely, would say after 21 days, we roll this thing. So I could either roll this thing, or I can put on a call, naked call, to turn this thing into a strangle. What we can do is, so, I mean, this would basically, if I did this, it would lower my break even by 14 cents. So right now, I mean, we're only at a 49, let's call it just 50 cent break even. So let's call it, what was it? 1101, guys. So is my break even. So let's say 1101 divided by 1060 is the last quote. So we only need this thing to go up another 3.9%. So let's call it 4%. I mean, it's up over 5% today, so it's possible that tomorrow we can come back up. So I might just roll the put and not put on the call unless I think I actually truly need it. So I could roll it out here. So if I wanted to get to the 10, so basically there aren't dollar strikes here. You know, you see either it's in $2.50 increments, which is not my favorite thing, because I want to stay around the $11 level. So I could go out to the 39-day, so one of the weekly cycles. The problem, well, actually no, it looks fairly liquid here, guys, so I think I might do that. But if I do that, I only collect, if I move it down to the 11, I would be paying $1 debit, or a penny, basically, yeah, a penny debit, so it translates into $1 in options terms. If I stay at the 11.5 level, I collect another 32 cents of premium, so my break even will obviously, so it'd be what, 50, so we'd be down 81 cents would be our total premium. So that's actually not too bad, guys. I'm thinking about doing that. The only thing I don't like here is this $10 wide spread. So what can we do? Let's see here. I could sell the 12.5, 13, no. You know what, guys? Let's go against the taste mechanics. Let's just hold it for now. Let's hold it one more day and see what we get. Worst case scenario, we roll it out further in time. But let's stick with where it is. If I do want to throw on the call, like a cheap call, so the 13, let's see here, 13 divided by 10, okay, now we're at 64, would be another 22%. I mean, it's possible, very possible, RIVN pops 22% in the next, week and a half, 2.5 weeks, excuse me. So it's very possible. Do I want to get trapped? Not really at all, guys, but this lowers my break even. Let's just see where RIVN goes tomorrow, guys. We'll see. Let's see how the next 2 or 3 days go, and then we can figure out what to do from there. So let's just get out of this TLT, guys. This TLT is just bumming me out. So let's see if we can get filled. 104, not having it. 105, not having it. 106, not having it. Okay, filled. 106, so $5 loss. So basically a scratch, we can call it. So do I want to put on an ETF or not? That is the question, because do we want to lower our buying power, or do we want to keep enough buying power on the table for some other earnings trade? So Macy's, guys, I think I'm gonna avoid Macy's. I was playing around with it earlier. You know, 16. So look, if we keep it at how I have it mapped out here, so 16 divided by 1930 minus 1, so that's a 17% move to the downside. That's actually not too horrible, guys. So 16 divided by, like I said, 1930. Yeah, guys, 17%. So I actually don't mind that. I don't mind that. Now, the issue is on the upside, right? So I'm pretty far out of the expected move here. So the expected move here is what, 21 and a half. So if I sold, guys, I'm just trying to collect like 20 something cents. So let's see, if I sold the 23 divided by 1930 is what we used before, it's another 19% on the upside. It's possible, guys. It's possible that my strikes will be breached. I mean, look at this. It's moved. I don't forget about that. There's been a problem with the chart for Macy's. I don't know what that is exactly about, but if you just look here, the last, I don't know, let's see. So 16, I mean, makes me nervous, to be honest. Makes me a little nervous, but we do want to stay engaged, am I right? So let's see, 16 and 23. Let's see if we go out further in time. We can just say 16. Let's do the 24 even. 16 and 24. See, I'm a little bit more okay with this because we have a little bit more time. The only problem is we won't be able to collect it. Probably won't collect 50%. So we might be able to try to squeeze out $20 something as if we were to sell the closer dated. So let's see, we're at the 18. Do we want to drop it to, so we can do this. I'm a little bit more comfortable with this even. So, oh, but here, look, the buying power. So let's just ship this off, guys. Let's just do it and not think too much. I'm definitely overthinking it. So let's stick with this. It's not super liquid like I wanted, but let's see if I can collect 84. No. So you'll see here, guys, 5 cents on the ups, 5 cent wide spread for the 24 call. And let's see though. So we'll say the 26, and I was even looking at the 24. That's like nothing. It's like not even worth it. I would definitely rather sell this though, guys. But you know what? Look at that, guys. 6, 7, 8 cents wide. I'm not having it. Nope. All right, guys. That's it. Let's just call it a day. Let's move on. Tomorrow is another day. I've been talking your ear off anyway. So that's it. That's all I have for you today, guys. As always, give me a big fat thumbs up if you like what you saw. Any questions, comments, trade ideas, ideas in general, anything you're working on, drop them in the comments down below. I love learning with you all, as I hope you love learning with me. If you haven't yet already, please subscribe to the channel so you do not miss any videos coming out. As always, hit me up with any questions you have. Until next time, take care, guys.